up and down the fingerboard. I got the main pad, but then it's the little small pads. I'm just trying to figure out the best way. So I'm trying to just repivot and realize there's other things to work on. I've been working on carving possible designs for the headstock. It's gonna be a grizzly bear face with an open mouth. But aside from those two things, which are the main hang up, you know, there are still some standard things that have to be done on this mandolin regardless of the more intricate specific things. So things like fitting the bridge or, you know, fitting the nut and slotting the nut. So I think that's kind of, I'm hoping if I do those tasks and some of the, you know, final sanding and things that will maybe help. So this is kind of showing how I go about fitting the bridge. First thing I do is get a straight edge and I put the 0 where the nut meets the fingerboard. And then the scale length for this mandolin is 13 7/8. So then I just put a little pencil mark where it is, like so. And then these marks here just kind of, that's where the center line of the soundboard is. So it's just a reference. The next thing I do is I get a piece of masking tape. That's just to kind of protect it. I'll kind of cover that mark that I had. You can see through it and then I'll kind of draw it over it again. But that's again where the bridge will be is in the scale length. Now I want to protect the soundboard, especially at this point. I'm going to change the camera angle a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is I take the bridge. It's an ebony bridge I'll be using. Always mark which side is treble. I just put a T on whichever side will be. Same for the top. And I'll also do that for the saddle part of the bridge. I'll just put a T. It's easy to get things all mixed up. You could put a B on the other side if you want, but you don't need to. Also, I'll have marked the center line or the center point of the bridge. So with treble on this side, treble over here, center line. Now I'll place it down onto where the line is for the scale length. And as you can see, it's not really fitting exactly how it needs to, especially under the ends of the bridges and the wings. So that's when I get one of these just bushings or washers, and then mechanical pencil. And this is one of the reasons I put the masking tape down, is to protect it. I'll try to do it so the camera can see. Hold the pencil at the bottom of the washer, and you just kind of trace. That's basically transcribing the profile of the arch of the soundboard onto the bottom of the bridge. Just do it a few times. I'll keep it like that. And I'll spin it around. And I'll do the other side. I think it's best to do both sides because it's, again, with it being an arched instrument, it's not the same. Even with that little bit of like 1/4 inch or whatever. So you can kind of see now where the pencil line drew that. So I'm not going to just go straight to the sander and sand down to that line. What I want to do to double check is I'm going to bottom the bridge out. And so I kind of spin these thumb wheels down to the bottom. Make sure treble is on each corresponding appropriately. I'll sit it here. And then I'm going to take a straight edge, lie it flat on the fingerboard, and I'm just going to shoot a straight line across. Now, keep in mind there will be fret wire, and then you're also going to have the space between the bottom of the string and the top of the fret wire. So again, this is just preliminary fitting. So that's gonna add, you know, a variable height. So I always wanna make sure that for my mandolins, if you bottom the bridge out, then the strings, they don't have to be hitting the top of the fret wire, but they should be pretty close. And that way it's going to ensure that you have enough wiggle room and adjustment height for the bridge, for the player and their preferences of action and changes of weather and humidity and all that stuff. So, you know, that shows me that I can actually take, you know, a good bit of material off. I probably have like a, you know, 5/16 of an inch to work with between the bottom of the straight edge and where it's hitting the bridge. I'll then look on the bottom of the bridge and see how much space, you know, there is there. And for this, I might actually take all that material off to the traced line. And once I do that, I'll actually fit it, kind of fine tune fit it with having sandpaper across, and then I have a jig that kind of slides it back and forth just ever so slightly so that you get a really nice tight fit for the footprint of the bridge to match the arch